Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be going over my top 7 fantasy books that I have read so far. So as you guys know, I read a lot of books, and so today I wanted to go over my top 7 fantasy books. Now, these are all books that I've read over the years. They are not all books that I read this year. These are just like ones I've read so far. So there's been lots of time since I've been reading these books. But anyways, I am excited to talk about them and share with you guys my favorites. Now, Marcus has definitely helped me get into reading fantasy more because that is his favorite genre. And so a lot of these books are actually recommendations from him. So it's awesome because he helped me find some of my favorite fantasy books. One of these is his all-time favorite. So there's that. But yeah, I'm excited to share this with you and show you guys what's in my top 7. Anyways, let's just dive right into it. The first one that I have is The Shadow of the Gods. This book was fantastic. I know the second one has come out. I haven't read the second one yet, but I enjoyed this first one so much. It took me a while to get through because, as with any fantasy, they're larger books, and so they take me a while to get through because I'm a slower reader. But this one was awesome, and I felt like I was pulled in anytime I picked the book up. Like, I didn't want to put it down, and when I did put it down and pick it back up, like, I got so immersed so quickly. So this one was following with 3 different characters, and you kind of got bits and pieces of the story put together from all their different perspectives. I personally loved Orca. That was my favorite character. She is like the most badass mom you will ever meet in a book, or at least the most badass mom I've ever met in a book so far. She was fantastic. So her child ends up getting kidnapped, and she goes on like a rampage to get her kid back, and she will stop at nothing to get her child back. It is awesome, just like how badass this woman is. I don't even know how to describe her. She's just so insanely badass, and you would understand if you read the book. This book is really cool too because you're getting so many different sides of the story, and you know that they're all living in this one place where there's like these fallen gods that were there before. And so you know as you go it's going to dive deeper into that storyline and that plot line. And so like I'm really looking forward to reading more of the series because I want to know more about these like gods from the past and how they played into the roles of the characters that are like living now. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and the cover also is stunning. It's really cool because it's like a dragon that goes all the way around, and then oh yeah, I guess my hand's covering the little person there. But yeah, this one will grab your attention and it will keep it, so definitely check this one out. Next up we have The Warded Band. So this is actually Marcus's favorite book, and I loved it. I will say that this series is very like big, and so it's a little intimidating to me. I still have only read the first one. I haven't continued yet because there are a lot of names in this series, and I know that the second one gets even more characters with a lot more names to keep track of. But overall, I thought this book was really cool. So the premise of this one is like these people are trying to survive against these demons, and there's all sorts of different kinds of demons. So there's like air demons, there's wood demons, ground demons, and they come up out of the ground and kind of like terrorize during the night. But during the day, they're not around unless like something calls them forward. And the way to protect yourself from these demons is by using these things called wards, where they're kind of like scripty symbols that you like engrave into things, and that's supposed to protect you. And so this is following a character who ends up going on a journey because things happen that they need to go on this journey. And yeah, it's kind of like them surviving against these demons. There's also, this is another series where it's split into 3 perspectives, and there's also like a badass like witchy grandmother that I love. She is so funny, and she had me cackling every time she appeared. But yeah, I liked her a lot. It's really interesting to follow 3 different characters. You know that eventually they're probably going to tie together at some point, and the way that this one ends opens it up for so much more in this series, which is something that I was excited about at the time, and I do want to pick up more and eventually read it. So yeah, this one was a good one. Then we have Night Angel. Now, I've only read the first book in this trilogy, but I did really enjoy it. And so this is essentially following a guy who becomes an assassin's apprentice. And so he is like learning the trade of being an assassin from like one of the best assassins out there. And yeah, there's like a little bit of magic involved, and it's a really fun story. Like, I do really enjoy assassin books. But yeah, this one was good, and there are a lot of bonds made with different characters that you grow attached to, and there's a lot of like political intrigue that's happening in the background, and a lot of it you should like, it's kind of hard to like keep track of. I found it hard to keep track of, but I feel like if you're a fantasy reader, this will be fine for you. But yeah, it was fun, and I enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see where the series goes, because the end of the book was super action packed and a lot of different things happened. So I'm wondering where they're going to go with that. But I enjoyed the first one of the series, and I thought it was a lot of fun. The next one I have is All of Us Villains, and I only have the dust jacket here because I actually lent this to a friend, so they're currently reading it right now. But I found this one to be very encapturing. It's kind of like a little bit like Hunger Games style, because this one is following 7 different families who they want to control magic. And so the way that the magic works is one family can control the magic every, like, I don't know if it's a century or however long it takes for this certain ritual to turn, but like every once in a while, I can't remember how long it is, they have to enter a family member into like these death games, and whoever comes out as the victor, their family controls the magic until the next like death games. And so this one is following all the different perspectives of the different characters. Well, I wouldn't say it's all of them. It's probably about like 4 or 5 of them that are thrown into this like death game arena to go fight to the death and win magic for their family and win the control of the magic. So yeah, this one was a lot of fun. A lot of the magic deals with rings, and like they have power that they enable through these rings. And yeah, so it was a really cool one. I actually just got the sequel to this book, so I'm excited to read that because it's duology, so I'll be finishing off a series. But yeah, this one will definitely pull you in and hook you. Then we have The Young Elites, and so this book probably has my favorite morally gray character in it, which is the main character. Her name is Adelina, and she kind of just does what she wants, which I love. I think it's fantastic. This one is kind of like a medieval-ish setting where it's like those kind of times, but characters like have powers that they can use to their benefit, or sometimes these powers are like not great. These characters use these powers to like advance themselves in society and essentially just get by. The way these characters got these powers, though, is that they survived something called like a blood fever. And so not everyone that had this blood fever fared well. Some of them died, but others that had the fever, they had side effects, which were these powers that came about after that. And so, yeah, only some people have these, and they're not necessarily well liked by like regular society. There's actually a group of individuals that are hunting down these people that have these powers and eliminating them. And so, yeah, it's like the story of the main character kind of on the run and encountering others like themselves and going from there. But yeah, my favorite morally gray character, you'll understand if you read this book. She's awesome. Okay, 2 more. So the next one is The Gilded Ones. I actually read this on ebook, but Marcus ended up buying it, so I can show it off here. I think the cover is stunning. So this one essentially is about people who are, when they're teenagers, they're tested in their villages, and so they're cut to see if they bleed red or gold. If they bleed red, then they're fine. They can continue living on as they are. If they bleed gold, they're kind of labeled as like infected or sick, and so they're sentenced to death. So the main character of this book, she ends up bleeding gold when they do this like ceremony. But before they can kill her, the queen actually requests that she comes to be trained as like her special guard And so the queen essentially like saves her from death and like brings her into her inner circle to be her like woman warrior, because she's training with a bunch of other women warriors to become like part of the Queen's Guard. And so from there's like a lot of stuff happening in the background that you kind of discover as you go, and it's very action packed. There's definitely some really cool elements to this book, and I'm really excited to read the sequel because I have that on ebook now as well. And yeah, this one like had me hooked. It was good. So definitely check this one out if you get a chance. And then the last one I have is Legendborn, and this one is like a really cool magical Arthurian retelling, but it's more like modern day with characters that are going to school in like it's not exactly a college, it's like a pre-college like boarding school, but they're going to school here and things start happening. So the main character sees magic happen, but nobody else around her actually notices this. And so she also sees like monsters. And so she needs to address this, and it kind of is her like investigating into this because she's only seeing this when other people can't. And so she kind of like looks more into the school's history and looks more into other people that are going to the school. And from there, she discovers a lot of new things that progress the plot. So yeah, this one definitely will keep you reading nonstop. Like you will not be able to put this one down. And the sequel, Bloodmarked, actually just came out in November, I believe. So that's fresh out. And if you read this and really enjoy it, you can read the sequel right away. And that's it for my top 7 fantasy books that I've read so far. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite fantasy book is, because I'm always looking to maybe take some of these books off this list and add new ones on there. There might be some new fantasy books that are going to catch my attention and make me rethink my list. So yeah, definitely put those in the comments down below. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and Coffee page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.